The Rabbit and Gina podcast.
I am nothing if not factual.
You are factual.
When now I was just telling the story of the provenance of the phrase "okay."
Did not know that.
Well, it turns out that's wrong. But what a great story it was.
What was his name?
Orville Korowitz. My dad told me that it was from back in World War II when they would requisition, they'd need supplies and they'd send through an order, and then Orville Korowitzki would just sign his initials down the bottom corner, just do okay. And that was where, once it was signed off by Orville Krasinski, that was giving the okay on something. And that was where the term okay came from. That's interesting because when you read back on other things, it was first published in a publication in 1839 in the Boston Morning Post. Yeah. Now, what would happen is back in those days, back in the 1830s, they loved a bit of abbreviation humour. But they would do it incorrectly. So the very elite and well-educated would abbreviate things, but then do them with wrong letters.
Oh.
So where it actually comes from, they were taking a jab at a rival newspaper saying that they get everything all correct, but they shortened it down to OK instead of OC. And this was like OMG LOL to them back then. That is the first time of it being used, apparently, is them going, it's all correct, okay, all correct.
I'll spell O-double-L.
What a funny joke. That was a funny joke.
Well, I've got more for you.
So, if I get any wrong, then I'll Google them up and I'll check
see
it.
how you go.
Earlier this morning, you said someone was flying by the seat of their pants, and I explained that, well, again, that was World War II, when pilots would be flying and the doors were not fastened correctly on planes back then. And one time, this guy's name was Orville Kozłowski, and he was flying a plane, and he half fell out the door, but luckily his loose breeches caught on the joystick that flies the plane, and he was literally flying by the seat of his pants at that point.
Where the saying comes from.
He went back, told people about it, and that's where the saying came from.
All right, you're so knowledgeable. What about cat got your tongue? What is that?
Yeah, well, this goes back to around World War II. It was around that time.
Yeah.
So biscuits were rationed at around that time.
Yeah.
And the biscuits that they made were, this was the crazy thing and what a strange design, but they were made to look like a human tongue. They were very similar in the shape. And sometimes a cat would mistake human tongues for biscuits,
right?
And just go take a little nibble there. And so, of course, the meaning behind it is, check your biscuits before you count them. Before don't.
But how does that relate to cat got your tongue when you don't say anything? Like, does that mean you can't speak?
Well, it's quite hard to speak when a cat actually has bitten onto your tongue, thinking it's a biscuit. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you try it.
So similar.
You try it.
Yeah.
But that was the way. When the biscuits first came out, they were cat treats. Oh, sorry, I meant cat treats at the start there. It was just biscuits. So cat treats originally looked like human tongues. And sometimes a cat would accidentally...
I'm thinking about kids in the car on the way to school right now going, they'll get to school and go, miss.
Do you want to know a real one? Here, I got one for you.
Yeah.
It's on cats, raining cats and dogs.
Yeah, what is that?
Okay, so, true story. Back in World War II... it was way back before that. Let's go Middle Ages kind of stuff. The cats and dogs would all be roaming around on the roofs, like looking for food and stuff. Just listen. Maybe we used to store our food on the roof or something. Let's leave that part out. Anyway, cats and dogs would be up there. Then there would be an absolute massive downpour of rain, and they would literally slide off these roofs or... crash through the thatch roofs that they had.
Really?
And it would be, so if it rained heavily, it would really be raining cats and dogs. Now, there's a solid 8 or 9% truth in that. I have heard that story from my dad. I could Google that one up, and it does It's basis of when it rained back in the old days, cats and dogs would come down.
Only if it was
It's
very
probably
heavy
something like,
rain.
but you'd store your cats and dogs up in the attic or something, and when it rained heavy, they would fall through. Something along those lines. I'm not sure on that one. Give me another one, and I'll...
Spill the beans.
Well, obviously, that... I mean, if you don't know the story on that one.
No.
Oh, and its relation to telling a story.
Yes. Well, telling a story that you shouldn't tell, right? Spill the beans. Come on, spill the beans. Tell me. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Never questioned any of these.
goes back to the Roman Empire, this one.
Right.
And to tell a story. So one of the elite would call you in and they'd want to know the goings-on of the village.
Right.
And they'd say, tell us what's been happening. And the villager would go, oh, I can't. I'll get in trouble with my fellow villagers. And they would go, give him 500 grams of beans. And they would pay him, and so they'd be pouring them out onto the scales to weigh exactly 500 grams out. And they pour those out, and he wouldn't tell the secrets until someone would spill the beans.
Yeah. Oh.
And that is the meaning behind
the stuff you learn.
the stuff you learn. If you say stuff confidently enough,
People believe it.
someone's going to go away with that knowledge this morning. I don't believe what I heard on the radio this morning. One of those stories was true. Up to you to figure it out.
The Rabbit and Gina podcast.
Hey, speaking of things hitting hard, you know my bidet?
Yes. Are we getting another update? Oh, I love getting updates on your bidet.
Here's the funny thing, right? So producer Loz is away. She's gone to Mexico. Oh, yeah? Well, don't think that's going to... I mean, she doesn't like it when we talk about the bidet on air. And
I bet that's what they've got in Mexico, though.
oh, my God, imagine that's
She's
all
gonna
they
be
had.
like,
Just
yeah.
every toilet in Mexico is just a bidet thing. And they don't have toilet paper.
Well, there are countries like that.
They just don't do toilet paper.
They don't do toilet paper.
Interesting.
You have to- you know?
Yeah.
It's better for the environment.
Is
I
it?
think.
Yeah. Oh, I guess, yeah.
Well, yeah, you're saving on toilet paper.
Yeah. There was there's an Instagram video going around at the moment of a girl saying, oh, it's so good.
Yes,
To-
I saw that this morning. She said, "Look, you save so much money on toilet paper, and it's much better for the environment. And you just don't." She doesn't even have toilet paper in her bathroom.
What?
She's just got this bidet thingy like you've got. And
Yeah.
she said it warms your bottom, and it's
Oh,
warm water.
Oh, hers is fancier than mine.
Is yours cold?
Yeah, mine's cold and does not warm anything.
What are you going to do in winter?
It's like being shot with an icicle every now and then.
But are you using less toilet paper?
No.
Oh.
Because I used it like twice when we first got it, and I've not used it since. I don't even know. I completely forget that it's there. Are you saying you're in the market?
I think I am because we've got a plumber coming to our house today, I'm hoping, because there's oh man.
Wait, and are you going to try and get this done while that's being done? Plumbers don't just cruise around with bidet toilet seats
No.
in their van.
No, I'm
Do you
just
think pick one up before he gets there and get him to install it?
actually I hadn't thought
Because-
of that till now.
Here's what I'm thinking.
What?
Mine's in near new condition.
How much you asking?
I'll pop it up on Facebook Marketplace. I mean, how cheap does it need to be before you'll consider a used bidet?
I would need you to pay me a lot of money to take it. Some people would. Like, you don't even like it.
No one's going to buy a second-hand bidet. No.
No.
You
no.
cannot. Although,
Can you use it?
I don't know.
Can you use it for other stuff though? You know, if you don't want to use it for that, maybe it could be like a
What?
self-watering plant or something.
Water feature you just have out the front of your house. Oh, I like your new fountain.
Oh, it's pretty.
Oh, it's fuzzy.
Shot him in the eye.
What? Oh, I didn't realise it was a bubbler. I love the new bubbler you put out the front there. Is that filtered water? What?
The Rabbit and Gina podcast.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.